My name is Lal. I'm the founder and managing director of Damp Core Specialists. We are specialist installers of the damp vent product. The very first installation I ever did was at my own home. It was 80 damp vent that we installed in various areas of the house, some in internal and some on the external. And this was a phenomenal opportunity because it gave us a lot of insight into the equipment that we needed, any fine tuning we needed to make. Also afforded me the opportunity to take moisture readings before and then remove damp vents after 6 and 8 weeks and re-record those meter readings. We were finding initially that we were picking up readings between 28 right up to 38% moisture content in the wall. There were some extreme conditions where we actually churned out mud, looked like potter's clay, out of the wall. We went back and we picked up readings dropping from 13, 12 down to 10 and 11%. 10 and 11% is where your paint manufacturers are comfortable to cover the warranties on the application of their paint. So it is an optimum moisture content level. On removing some of the damp vents, we also found a lot of condensation that had collected on the tube of the vent, which showed that the moisture was being drawn to the zone within the damp vent where the evaporation takes place. In other instances, we actually found up to a teaspoon of water within that tube. The water is then held there because there's a little backing stopper, and obviously where the air flows in, it allows and evaporates that water that is collected there. The water on the air actually flows through the brickwork and it will allow the drying of the brickwork behind, and then obviously there will be a lateral drying between the two vents as well. I'm going to give you all a closer look at the actual damp vent. So that is the outside. If you look on the top, that is where the airflow is. It is marked top, and it does have a maximum and minimum flow that allows the air to flow through. On the back of the vent, you will see it has the insert, and the diameter is 40 millimeter. I'm now going to cover off the primary equipment that you're going to need to do the coring for the hole to fit the damp vent. We use a Torquecraft. It's a 40 millimeter barrel manufactured by Torquecraft and supplied by Torquecraft in South Africa. There's then a shaft that the barrel screws onto. This we recommend a 200 millimeter, and it's an SDS plus shaft. What we have found from experience, the shaft comes with a mild steel nut. This nut we remove and we replace it with a grub screw. What this does is it holds the central pilot bit and does not protrude past the diameter of the actual core barrel. The machine that we use is a SDS Plus machine, and you can see that over here. I'll pick it up for you guys. This is the machine that we use, and I'm going to show you the fitment of the shaft. Shaft you hold back, and it will securely fit within the machine. Now, the next step is to set out the hole and the area that you're going to address. We run with the manufacturer specification, which is 300 millimeters above the floor slab. We then measure and install or start to core at the manufacturer specifications. The specifications run between 300 and 500 millimeters centers apart between the vents. So once our core is now completed and we have cored to the correct depth, we then take, it can be an old paintbrush, we make sure that we can remove any debris, dust inside of the core and take it out. We then take the damp vent and we insert the damp vent into our cord hole. Sometimes we have found that the last millimeter or two, you may just need to give it a gentle little tap with a rubber mallet and to make sure that it is properly flush and secured in the wall. Today we're on a project in Krugersdorp where we are doing the installation of 36 damp vents. The project has been phased to suit the client's pocket. Richard over here is now going to do a demonstration on the actual coring of the holes. Over here, we've spoken about the cores that have now been completed. They have been cleaned out. They have been measured to the required depth. I'm going to show you that again. We normally set up a gauge so we don't have to do this every single time. So we insert, and we can see on this one we have gone to cavity and we are now at just under 140 millimeters deep. Richard is now, we have our marked out position for the next core. Richard is now going to start the coring process. We then do our silicone around the edge. We go to our cord hole. We make sure the top is at the top. We then insert the vent, push it onto the wall, wipe any residual silicone that there might be, and there we have it.